Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
I've been looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. So lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you.
Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and welcome to tonight's live stream. First off, happy birthday to Spinnakop. Yes, Spinnakop, Charlotte. Happy birthday, Charlotte. May you have many, many more. Now, Ukraine. Well, the peace talks have begun, but they're on pretty rocky ground. And yeah, just watch Loving Life TV to see what's happening, because we obviously keep the world up to date. This is the statement by Ukraine following the latest peace talk.
Second round of talks between Ukraine and Russia have just finished. Unfortunately, we didn't get the results we counted on. The only thing I can say, we have discussed in details humanitarian aspect, as now quite a lot of cities are surrounded. There is a dramatic situation with food, medicine, evacuation possibilities. So I will read official communiqué on which both parties agreed. Also, we agreed to go on working on third round of negotiations as soon as possible. Parties reached the understanding about joint provision of humanitarian corridors for evacuation of civilians, as well as for food and medicine delivery to the areas of the fiercest fighting, with the possibility of temporary ceasefire during the evacuation time in the sectors where it is being held. To this purpose, in the closest time, special channels of communication and interaction will be organized, as well as appropriate logistical procedures will be established.
Okay, guys, that was the latest on the peace talks in Ukraine. Now, what is happening with South Africa? Well, here's a bit of humor. Apparently, the South African National Defence Force made their presence known and arrived in Ukraine to help out. Let's see how that went. Here we go. In case you missed it the first time. Sorry guys, let me just get rid of this stuff. There we go, I'll get rid of it. Okay. Alright, now, just another very interesting, I'm going to call him, we call him Winston Kotze. I'm going to call him Wisdom Kotze. And this is what Winston had to say about the South African army getting involved with the conflict in Ukraine. I just love this piece, and it's relevant because Winston is a member of the Spectrum National Party who we're talking tonight, or SNP. Here we go. Listen to this.
All right, so how's it, everyone? Winston Kotze, aka Ranting Winston. We all know about the war in Russia when Mr. President Putin declared war on the Ukraine. Now, our president down here in South Africa, Ramaphosa, also had his 2 cents told President Putin, should he invade Ukraine, there will be hell to pay. Now, us as South Africans, we know that we don't have much of an air force. We don't have much of an army, for that matter. No, we don't have a navy. We don't have any sort of those things to offer. I think our private security forces can do more damage than our army, navy, and air force combined. But very likely, we've got something far more dangerous than any air force, than any navy, or any army. We've got the ANC. Now, Mr. Putin, if you don't stop your shit, we will send the ANC there, and I promise you, within 15 years, there will be fuck all left of your country. That's my warning. Cheers.
You gotta love that closing statement. I love Ranting Winston. He's such a character. All right, now I see that Carter Moloi is keen to join the live stream. Carter, we'll getting people on in a second. We have the full Spectrum National Party team joining us tonight, all 4 deputy presidents, as well as their leader, Christopher Claassen. And just for the record, the 4 deputy presidents are Eddie Belford, Carter Moloi, Nishi, Govender, and David Kotzer. And of course, the president is Christopher Claassen. Please remember to register on lovinglifetv.com to be kept informed. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, where is... Oh, there he is. Sorry, I was just looking for the first guy I'm going to get on. And above all, remember to register on lovinglifetv.com. Here we go. Okay. There we go. We'll get back to Christopher in a second. Let me get Carter Moloi, who's been trying to contact us, so we'll get him on first. Hi Carter.
Good evening, leader.
Oh, there you are. Okay, fantastic. All right, I'm just going to get the other guys on. Okay, Carter, give me a second.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Okay, we'll start off with David Kotzer. Come on. David Kotzer, there we go. Call. Okay, David's on his way in. And I'll get Eddie in. Oh, come on, computer. Hi,
okay,
David.
Okay, we'll chat. Okay, buddy. Okay, man. Bye.
Hi, David.
How's it going?
Good. Ah, Christopher, you're with David. I was trying to Skype you.
We together.
We're brothers.
Oh,
I'm going
yeah.
to say brothers.
You're bosom buddies, are you? Okay, cool. Okay,
Hey, Scott.
excellent, thank you. Excellent. Now, Eddie's just joining us, and I'm just going to get Nishi on, and then we're all set to go.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great.
You guys can say hello to each other while I'm just doing this.
Yeah, we just had pre-talk now prior to this. So yeah, we talking the whole day actually with one another. So
Cool.
we're always communicating and sharing with one another.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's nice. We nicely spread throughout South Africa. Eh? Wow, each corner of South Africa is covered by our presidents. Eh? Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, KZN, and Gauteng. That's actually very
Excellent.
nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we want.
Now, Nishi, it says Nishi Govender is not available.
Is it?
Yeah. Can you perhaps give him a call, Christopher, and just ask him to join us? While you're doing that, I'll just go around the room and just ask, starting with Eddie, just ask people about their involvement with SNP and what their dreams are. Just a very short statement from each person. Let's start with Eddie.
Good evening, Scott. But I can't see you, and I can't see my picture on the screen.
Oh no, we can see you. We can see you fine. And
Okay.
you won't see me because my camera's been stolen by the streaming softwares. But you can hear me, so that's the main thing.
That's fine. I am Eddie Belford. I am a deputy Brown president of the National Party in the Eastern Cape. I'm looking after the Eastern Cape. I'm overseeing the Western Cape and overseeing the Northern Cape. So it is 3 big provinces. And I'm based in Nelson Mandela Bay. And SNP is known by the people in the Eastern Cape. We are growing. We are not growing as we would like to grow, but everybody knows about SNP.
Right. Okay. Now over to you, Carter.
Thank you very much, Scott. I'm Kotze Moloi from Citibank District in Gauteng Province, and I am doing an oversight management of province, Northwest, and Free State.
Wow, you guys!
I am the deputy president of Spectrum National Party, who is actually looking to unite the entire nation of this country, irrespective of race and creed, making sure that we live lovely as a nation in this country.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Now, David, you and Christopher, we've spoken to in the past, but look, just if you'd like to just make a quick opening comment, and I'll try and get Nishi on. I've tried twice now, and it says he's unavailable still. So we'll try again in a second. David, over to you.
Thanks, Scott. Great being back. Look, at the end of the day, we're here to represent South Africa and to make sure we can change this country for good. And that's what we focused on. You know, tonight, people will hear a little bit more about Spectrum National Party if they don't know a lot about us. We'll talk about a few tough things that's happening in South Africa that needs change. And I'm just happy to be here, and hope we can have a ball.
Fantastic. Christopher, I'm going to just try Nishi once more before I go. Yeah, well, actually, go ahead, Christopher. You're the leader of SNP. Please give us an opening comment.
Yeah, okay, yeah, leaders, all the viewers out there throughout the world. It's actually amazing to know that there are people all over the world who's actually watching this live now, and we want to really thank you for really tuning into Loving Life. It is awesome to share with you our ideas and what we as a political party can offer all South Africans. And we want you to come back. We want Scott to also come back to South Africa, but it's not going to happen very soon unless Spectrum National Party takes over this country. It's what you can see, black, brown, Indian, and white is going to govern this country. How beautiful it's going to be, David. Are you going to love it? Are you going to love it? No more BE?
Must we take our background away, or is it the...
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Now, Nishi Govender has just joined us, so he's with us, but I can't see him. It's just a light on. Hi, Nishi, how are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm well, thank you, and you?
Excellent, thank you. Now, Nishi, are you able to put your camera
on? What do you want me to do?
Just turn on your camera. Are you on a cell phone or the computer?
I'm on my cell phone. My camera is on.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened there, but Nishi was trying to call me. Nishi, are you still with us?
Yeah, signals, eh? So.
All right. I'll just try. No, she's still with us. I'm not sure. Look, we'll come back to that, guys. Because there are quite a few people in this live stream tonight. What I'm going to suggest is I'll address most of the questions to Christopher, as the leader of SNP. And if you want to specifically discuss a particular point, just put your hand up, and I'll then go to you after Christopher is finished. Does that sound okay to everybody?
Yeah, that's fine. Good, no problem.
Okay. All righty.
That's perfect for me.
Well, welcome back, Nishi.
All right.
Yeah, look, don't worry about the camera. We'll just leave you as a little icon. At least we can hear you. That's the main thing.
All right. Okay.
Now, Nishi, did you hear what I just said there to everybody?
No, I didn't. I missed it. Sorry, man.
Okay, that's okay. Now, Nishi, what I said is that I'll be addressing most of the questions to Christopher as a leader of SNP. But if you have something you'd like to say with regard to a question, because we can't see you, if you can just say, can I add, or something like that, and then we'll cross to you so you can actually make a comment. Okay?
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Now, Christopher, let's start off the live stream discussion. What are SNP's view on the State of the Nation address by, Mr. Ramaphosa?
Scott, to be honest with you, viewers out there, it is actually the same old stories that is being repeated year after year. They say put your mouth where. What is the English saying there? Put
your foot in your mouth.
And to promise South Africans all the same lies over and over again. I think it is insane to hear all the same lies. It is just words, but there's no action. What is the use? There's a lot of things that's been said now. Eventually, they shift over from instead of creating jobs, they feel now that they're going to shift it over now to the private sector. But the question is, they didn't come up with a plan. How are you going to assist the private sector? Which means, what is happening with the money, like the CDAs, the CFAs, the NYDA? So they must really make a decision now. Do they still want to create jobs, or are they going to transfer the money to companies, private companies, who really want to make the change and create jobs in our country? So we're actually very ashamed. I've been personally. I don't know if you see me. I was there at the event, and I had a pre-talk prior to the president's speech. And I said to the viewers out there, it is actually very disappointing to see how much money they have spent during just for the state of the SONA. Scott, you know what? They spent millions. I saw police vehicles from all over South Africa drove down to Cape Town to come and be part of this event. I saw hundreds of police officers, law enforcement. It is just a shock. It is insane to see this. They could have had this SONA in Parliament. And I mean, even though the Parliament was burnt, a section of Parliament, they could have this in maybe in a provincial Parliament where he could have addressed the nation. But the amount of money has been spent on flights, in accommodation, it is just while other people are sleeping on the streets. It could have been spent much wisely than what the way they've planned it. It was red carpet. It was wow. Here's the president coming. The jets were flying all over us. People were pushed away, was pushed aside by the police officers. I was very actually disappointed to see how much money they could have rather spent on people out there sleeping on the streets or people who are without homes. So yeah, I wasn't really impressed. My colleagues will definitely agree with it, and they got also their opinions regarding how they feel about the SONA. I was very disappointed.
Well, I've got to say that there is something ironical about the symbolism of Parliament burning to the ground just before the State of the Nation address. I mean, seriously, there is. Is there anything anyone here would like to say, just to add to what Christopher said?
Well, I always got something to say. I always say, this was actually a very good speech. I think it's the best one I've ever heard. The problem is twofold. The first thing is that it doesn't help you make promises you cannot deliver. That's the first problem we got. And then he all of a sudden started talking about the DA's policies, implementing some of their policies. They're very happy. I mean, they were raving about it.
Sorry, David.
Yes.
Nishi, we can see you now, so just don't touch anything.
Yes,
Okay. No, but sorry, back to you, David.
Yes. So they were talking about the financial things they want to implement, and the DA has been writing about it for years, and they were so excited about it. And one thing that stood out, and I think Leader Eddie maybe want to also say something about it, is when we spoke about job creations, he turned around and he said, you know what, the private sector is the ones that's actually going to give us the jobs. And I thought to myself, when I heard that, he's actually very right, because the private sector in South Africa is quite strong still. But we've got political parties like the EFF and these people, radical people, that's trying to undermine them and saying, oh, but it's a white regime, we must get rid of them. And I think to myself, but that is where the work is lying. That is where we have people that can, they're creating work because the government hasn't got money. So the work is going out of the window.
Yeah.
So that's my first sense. I think Eddie can maybe say a bit more about that.
Eddie, is there something you'd like to say?
I just would like to add about the SONA that job creation is something where the government needs to have the Minister of Economic Affairs, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, to liaise with all these different countries across the world, to set up business forum meetings with the business sector in each country, and then offer what South Africa can offer the world to invest in South Africa.
Yeah.
But now he's taking that whole portfolio of these ministers away. So I don't know what these ministers are going to do. So he's taking it away and he put it in the hand of the private sector. The private sector is the businessman that is trying to keep people in employment. And they are responsible to provide all these facilities to make it lucrative for any business person across the world to come into South Africa and to come and invest. With that, they need to look at tax reforms for these people. They need to look at, say, for instance, make land available where these people at reasonable prices for them to set up a business, or to provide a building for them to operate. Those kind of things, this business group needs to go and then put that in front of these people across the world to get people, but it is the initiative of government to do it. But now they just take it off their plate and scrap it away, put it, palm it off onto the business sector.
Right.
And that is not right.
Now, I just want to recognize that Winston Kotze, who's a member of SNP and ran in the south coast of KZN, is with us in the side chat. Hi, Winston. He's also a channel here on Loving Life. So, he's been part of this family for a long, long time. Now, let's move on. Christopher, talking about the 2024 national elections. That's going to be a very interesting time when you consider the factions that are forming between the ANC divisions. And the party could actually fracture before 2024, giving parties like yours a huge opportunity to take a big slice of the cake. Over to you, Christopher, about the 2024 election.
Scott, I've predicted that the 2021 local elections, there's going to be quite a lot of coalitions. And for those who don't understand what coalitions are, some political parties, they put their votes together to explain it to you in layman's terms, so you understand what I mean. Like, for example, the ANC and the EFF, they will put their votes together to win with a majority of more than 50% of votes. So I predicted that it's going to happen, and exactly what I said, it happened like that.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in 2024, Scott, is my prediction. The ANC has dropped under 50%, which means they're losing quite a lot of members. I don't know what's going to happen if Cyril Ramaphosa will be appointed again now to be the next president for his second term. I don't know. If Cyril Ramaphosa is not going to stand for his second term, there's a Zuma team and there's a Cyril Ramaphosa in the top structures at NEC, which means that they are fighting. There's a lot of division amongst them in the NEC top structure. So what's going to happen now, when Cyril is not going to be appointed again as the president of South Africa, what's going to happen? So they need to appoint another president. There's going to be a lot of friction, a lot of division will take place in the NEC top structure, which means ANC is going to drop much more. People they're not tired now. I discovered that people's eyes are open. You know what? In the blacks have now the power really to decide which way is this country going to go to, because they are 80% of this country's population versus the white and the brown and the Indian. So which means people still believe, and I want to tell all South Africans, black South Africans out there, I know you are scared that the apartheid will come back again. And we really want to encourage our black South Africans here. Apartheid will never ever come back again, because I know you are scared and I know you've been brainwashed by the ANC. Don't vote for any other political party. If you're going to vote for any political party and the ANC lose, what's going to happen with you? The white man is going to come back again, and then apartheid is going to come back again, and you're going to suffer again. That is the lies that have been spread by the ruling party. So we really want to encourage people. The only way to change this country, it is to change your voting. The only way to get rid of the ANCs, don't vote for them anymore. And it's a mistake that people make. They keep on voting for the ANC. And as long as they keep on voting for the ANC will always stay in power, and South Africans will always suffer. So this is going to happen in 2024, Scott. We need to have a new approach. We need to start looking at really which political party to vote for, look at their values, look at the vision that they have for this country. What are they going to do for our people in our country? Because back then say to our people out there, what can we do for you? Right. Not what can you do for us? Vote us in power because we want to do something for you. For example, the land and all this is an issue, but the people are just complaining, but the ANC and the ruling party don't listen to them. They just don't listen to the South Africans, and it is why our people really suffer, because why the ruling party don't listen to them. Who put them in power? The people. But now that they're in power, they don't listen to the people anymore. And we need to change that. And South African citizens need to make the right crosses 2024 in which direction they want this country to go for, because we are really sick and tired of the way we live in this country. And look how beautiful it is. Indian, brown, white, and black. That's not what you want, South Africa. We make decisions together. We talk and we discuss things together. Because I'm the brown president doesn't mean everything's going my way. We discuss things together, and this is what we're supposed to have in South Africa. That is why we started this party, and we look at the root of the problem. So we want to get rid of the root of the problem, the burning issues, the race issues. And if we're not going to address the race issues in this country, there's going to be a race issue for problems for the rest of our life. And we say, let us do it right first time, and let us take this country together. Because why? You can see our age. We are not young anymore, Scott. You know what? We got the age now. We're going to live for the next 15, 20 years, and then we're done. And then what about our offspring? And what about those still to come? And if we can fix this country with a black, brown, Indian, and white governing policy in place, I'm telling you, this country is going to be a great country. And we have now the opportunity to take this country to a first world country. But we cannot do it. We have the plan, we have the vision, but we cannot do it without everybody's vote. So this video needs to be shared with everybody in South Africa, every house, every person who's on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Skype. Let they read this video, because what they need to know the truth is the only way to take the ANC out of power. And I can't even say the ANC, I'm talking about the DA as well. Scott, I've been now in the 3 provinces now, the Western Cape, the Eastern Cape, and the Northern Cape recently. And I'm telling you, people said to me on a WhatsApp group early on, wow, I love the Western Cape. It's the first time I've been in the Western Cape. The roads look so nice and clean. I said, you haven't seen anything yet. The DA government is exactly like the ANC government. You can go into the rural areas. You will see potholes. You will see broken sewage pipes. So it is no different. The ANC municipalities in the DA municipalities are exactly the same. Only the Western Cape national roads are in a very, very good condition. But people must turn left or must turn right off from the national roads and see what is really happening in the DA in the DA government as well. Go and see how many people sleeping on the streets. People sleeping literally on the streets in front of the police station in Sea Point. Have you seen this happening in Sea Point? There is now people making use of tents in front of the police station in the DA government. So there is no difference. So if you think the DA is the best party, I want to chat it today. Come and take a drive with me when you come to Cape Town. I'll show you really how does Cape Town look like. If you drive in the black communities there, I can't even drive in my car in certain roads. So the DA and the ANC are exactly the same, just big talkers, but they do nothing for our people.
Right. Now, I think we've lost Carter, so I'm just going to see if I can get him back. But is there anyone else who'd like to just add to what Christopher said?
Well, can I say this?
Please go ahead, David.
Thank you. So what he's saying actually in the Western Cape, and this is what I live in an affluent area where everything is perfect. We got all services. We pay through our necks for it.
Right.
But everything is working. Not always perfectly, but there can be a niggle. Nothing is perfect in life. And I've been in Christopher's area and Mitchell's Plain. I've been in Delft. I've been in. They've taken me into strange places. You know, as a white man here in Cape Town, can I say that? And I've seen my eyes have opened and I can see, wow, you know, so he's absolutely right. So that's what the ANC is doing is they're just not giving any services to anybody. If you're white, pink, black, it doesn't really care. That's why the whole municipality looks like there's something wrong. But when you come to Western Cape, they know how to position themselves. Certain areas will look perfectly. The city areas looks good. You know, you go into Cape Town City, it's nice. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of economical growth. There's a lot of buildings, but as soon as you go into the rural areas, it's quite crazy.
Yeah.
I just want to add that.
Yeah, look, the municipalities around the country are a complete nut of chamos. Eddie, you'd like to add to that?
Scott, the 2024 elections, I personally make an appeal to all South Africans. When you go out and cast your vote in 2024, think before you cast your vote. South Africa is a diverse country with multiple of races in South Africa. This Spectrum National Party is not a one-race party. This is a multi-race party, and we've got all our systems in place. For the past 28 years, if you count now up till 2024, then we can talk about 30 or 31 years that the ANC is in power. But look at all the municipalities. Look what is going on. Money is being stolen. People is in corruption. PPE money was taken, PPE fraud was, not one of these people has been brought to book. Not one person has been put in jail. So it is actually a shame for people from any other country to look what is going on in South Africa. And up to municipal level, people stand for a particular party just to get a seat, just to get a paycheck by the end of the month. We are a party that is just not looking for a paycheck. We survive. I mean, without any municipal money, without government money, we put the people first. I know that some people will say that this is what each and every political party is saying, but we are not like that. We, at the current moment, we are feeding the communities outside. If there's a problem, we stand up and we rectify the problem for them.
Yeah.
So we don't get money from any government organization. We don't get money from a municipality, but we are going the extra mile. That's why I appeal to them. 2024 is very close to us. Vote with a conscience. In the Nelson Mandela Bay, there is turmoil. People has went out and they voted for certain parties. These oaks is sitting in the municipality currently, earning money. But I'm telling you, they didn't face the community, not even once in the past 3 to 4 months that they're sitting there. The people's condition has not been stagnant, it has worsened. It has worsened. You must look at rubbish, your normal household rubbish. It's now about 2 months where they don't remove the rubbish. Sure. It's a health hazard because people can get sick. The water in the Nelson Mandela Bay area, if you open up your tap, your normal tap in your house, just to get a glass of drinking water, the water is brown. In some cases, there is worms coming out of your tap.
Oh, no.
You know, that is the level that we have reached. We are at rock bottom at the moment. People need to stand up against this because there's money that was given from central government, but the money is reaching the municipalities, but it is there that the money, it looks like that the money just dissolves up in the air. And we know where the money is going. The money is going in certain people's pockets.
Yeah.
And not one of these guys has been included. And that is a shame. People, when you talk about it, it is an open discussion wherever you go. But people don't know what to do. They just pull up their shoulders. That is the level where they are.
Yeah.
Electricity is going off at any point in time. So that has become a norm as well in South Africa. And in certain parts of South Africa, it is much more frequent than in other parts.
Right.
So that's why the election of 2024, I appeal to people, look for the name of Spectrum National Party. It is a party that wants to make a difference in South Africa. A party that has people at heart, not please believe me. Thank you, Scott.
Okay. Now, I just want to say that there is one guy who was at the Zondo Commission who is facing charges, and that's, of course, a whistleblower, Angelo Agrisi. Isn't that interesting? You know?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so, guys, the high rate of gender-based violence in the country. Now, this is obviously a huge issue. Christopher, in fact, I might ask Nishi to talk to this first. Nishi, is there something you'd like to say about the absolutely terrible situation in South Africa when it comes to gender-based violence?
Yes, my name is Nishi Govender, and I am the Indian Deputy President of SNP. And I'm proud to be part of this party as we're getting somewhere in South Africa. Firstly, before I get to gender-based violence, I just want to touch on one point. I live in KZN in Natal, and I live in Pietermaritzburg, which is called the City of Choice. The City of Choice is supposed to be the most beautiful city in the country. I live in the Msunduzi municipality, and I did stand for elections. During Christmas, we had the substation sabotaged because the northern suburbs here in Pietermaritzburg is governed and ruled by the DA. So we have like 9 wards governed by the DA, which they won. Fine. But when it came to service delivery on the eve of Christmas, say 2 or 3 days before, on the 19th of December, the whole substation was sabotaged.
Wow.
And when we say it was sabotaged, it was people throughout Northdale, Allendale, the whole area, the Indian area, the DA suburbs were in darkness. And we were in darkness for 11 days.
Wow.
It was it was terrible. Now, what contributed to all this here was that they didn't have enough. The fire people or the fire station or the fire safety hazard people didn't have the powder to what can I say, mellow the fire, to put it down.
Yeah.
So when the station blew up, I don't know far from it. It was terrible. It went up in smoke, and the firefighters couldn't do anything because they needed a certain powder to put over. They were not prepared for this disaster. That was one. Number two, the infrastructure. The municipality was given 38 million rand in 2018 to uplift and maintain the substation. 12.2 million was only accounted for. The rest of the money was embezzled. Thus, we faced a huge disaster.
Yeah.
There was no relief for our people, mostly Indians. I will just say it in inverted commas, the Indian community. The black people on the squatter camps suffered. We took food to them. We arranged, we did everything for them. But came to the mayor. I called him personally, Mayor Tabola of my city. And I said to him that this is the problem. We sent our memorandum to him and all that. Till date, there was no reply. Then comes January, we don't have water. All the pumps under what has been breaking it was dysfunctional. So what happens? Infrastructure again. There's no money to fix. So they patch up one place. When they start bleeding the pump, there's no water, it bursts. And this is going on. I had no water for 9 days.
Wow.
Our whole suburb. And the money that's been put here in the municipality or the government that has been given it to them has been embezzled. So I asked the mayor, sir, with all due respect, we have potholes problem, we have streetlight problems, we have bushes, we have everything. But in the area in Hayfields where he lives, the road is resurfaced, the potholes are done, the lights are working, the parks board, the waste management, all is functional because he lives there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to our suburbs where the DA is, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
So I'm not very happy with the current ruling of the DA or the ANC. So this is why I'm here for the 2024 elections.
Yes,
so to make a difference.
Come on, Nishi.
And we want to be equal. We want to give the people a voice, whether it's disabled, women, children, youth, black, white, Indian, brown, all need a voice.
Yeah.
And this is how this party is structured. So this is why we're here. Concerning gender-based violence, sir, it's pathetic. We talk about both. We talk about mostly women and children that are getting abused and hit and violently, abused by, both men and women. But the justice system has failed us. I mean, I look after special need kids. That's one of my passions, and they're mostly blind kids. And I was just speaking to my president today and told him what I went through this whole afternoon. It's so sad that a child gets abused by a teacher, So, and there's no justice, and you got to bring this paperwork, and you got to have that evidence, and our justice system has failed us.
Yeah.
And especially women that have the children. It is so sad. I reach out to them. I do personal things. I do, personal runs, personal campaigns just to, eliminate all these pain and suffering. And the old people, if you look at the abuse of the old age people, that are just left in camps and left in homes and just left to die. There's no funds to look after them. There's no old age homes to take care of them. So it's pathetic. I live at the back of my home. I have a squatter camp. There's about 300 houses there. And every day there's a problem. There's no water, there's no food, there's no electricity. People are suffering. So South Africa, catch a wake up and vote for the next party, which we'll do, which we will make a difference, and we'll have perfect service delivery. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, look,
Awesome.
I have to say to you, Nishi, that I have a huge amount of respect for the Indian population in South Africa. I actually have quite a few live streams with people from the Indian community. And my gosh, these people are they are really switched on. I mean, seriously switched on. You know, when it comes to what's happening in the world today, the whole 9 yards. Elapan Rapiti, who's an Indian doctor in Cape Town, amazing man, absolutely amazing. What he's doing with people who are suffering from COVID-19 is quite extraordinary. And yeah, look, I just huge admiration for your community. Now, Carter, I just want to quickly ask you something. You've got like a shield behind you, have you? Is that a shield behind you?
Excuse me, sir? I didn't hear you.
It looks like you've got a shield, a traditional shield behind you in the image.
Okay, it's not a traditional shield, but it's a first house, a rondavel that is being first. Yes, behind me is a traditional rondavel.
Ah, okay. Well, I just wondered what it was.
Yeah.
Now, Christopher, back to you. What are your thoughts on the GBV or gender-based violence situation in South Africa?
Yeah. Okay. Scott, okay, I'm going to answer that. I also want to give Peter Kato also. He's a very wise man, being part of our party. But while asking me now, I will maybe answer you, and then I'll give over to Peter Kato as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I want people to really, South Africans, I think a lot of men are too shy and too ashamed to go and report an abuse case against his wife or the children. They rather, for the sake of pride, they prefer not to go and report it. But I want to let the whole world to know that men are also going through abuse, physical, emotional abuse. It is sexual abuse. It is actually amazing what men are going through. So we should not really just turn a blind eye on men when it comes to abuse. And sometimes men, just for the sake of peace, they prefer not to go and report it to the police. They don't want to lose their family, and they rather keep quiet. So I also want to encourage the women out there as well. You know what? I'm a pastor, and you know what? There's only one law, and we cannot override this law. And God says in His law, in His word, very, very clearly, husbands, love your wives. Sorry, your wife. Husband, love your wife.
You're obviously talking about Jacob Zuma.
I don't want to. Only Zuma can have wives. And the other side, they say, women, submit to your husband. And I think if we can just apply that law, a man will treat his wife like a queen. And if a woman is doing that to her husband, and he still not love her, which means that he's cheating on her, because why his love is divided between his wife and the other wife. It's the only time when I see a man will not love really his wife. Or maybe some of them pick up a bit weight and now they start with attitudes and so forth. But end of the day, if we can just apply the biblical law, and I'm sure things will work out very well for the family. But please, I want to ask all the viewers out there, there are a lot of men who's going through abuse. Please be a good wife to your husband so that he can become a good husband to you as well. This is my encouragement to all the viewers, the ladies and the men out there. Make them feel special. Like I always say, men want to see the beauty in a woman.
Yeah.
And a woman want to hear all the beautiful things from her husband. You look beautiful. You look sexy. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear. Men want to see with their eyes. So please apply it and see if there's going to become a change. If your husband is abusing you, and be the man for him and for her, and be the woman for him. I believe it can work for you. And everything is, there is a solution for everything. I was doing actually an interview, Scott, with a couple who's going through quite I think they were on the edge to divorce. And I stepped in there and they explained to me the two crises they're facing. And I said to them, problem will be solved here today. And I took them through it and I said to them, you are going to give your own solution to your problem today. And when I walked out there, they hugged each other and they were just about to divorce one another. So I say, everything. There is a solution for everything.
Yeah.
Divorce is the last solution, but both of you need to ask each other for forgiveness. And when you ask each other for forgiveness, I think you're going to have a much better relationship with one another. Love each other, and you will see and respect one another, and the results will be a happy family.
Absolutely.
This guy, Scott, I'm going to tell you about Kotze. You know what? He's probably the first. People were complaining and said, but Mr. President, you know what? I have the right to appoint my presidents in the top structure in the party. And Kotze Moloi has been joining us. He came from another political party. He can share more about himself. But he was doing so well when he joined as just a normal executive member in Gauteng, one of the municipalities in Gauteng and Mfuleni. And then the male candidate there told me about Kotze Moloi. He said, wow, Mr. President, this guy is really the best candidate who joined us. And I said, okay, let us add him, let us interview him. I was happy with the interview. I added him to our NEC as a normal executive member. And because of his commitment, he never missed one meeting. He never missed one interview when we have candidates interview. He is just there. He's never late for meetings. And I was watching him for a while, and he's really like he's also our party's one of our motivators and our advisors. And he's really blew my mind. He's humble. This is the person we really want to deal with, I want to have amongst me as my deputy presidents. And Kotze Moloi, share with the team really what do you think about gender-based violence, and really why do you like Spectre as a party? You were supposed to be the male candidate for the other political party, and when you heard about Spectre as a party, you came to join us. Maybe you might also share about it so that Africans can really hear why you joined Spectre National Party as well.
Over to you, Kotze.
Thank you very much, and the viewers out there at home. Yes, I'm Kotze Moloi from Sidibeng in Mfuleni municipality. Yes, on the eve of the local general elections, I joined Spectrum National Party due to the fact that the party which I was at was not contesting at our municipality level. So I feel with all those people that I've been recruiting that I need to make sure that at least they happen to vote for an alternative. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and the alternative tends to be a Spectrum National Party. And I did go there, make a switching over with a significant number of members, which we really topped up the regional membership. And after all those endeavors, then yes, the leader of the party, Dr. Christopher Claassen, happened to identify or unearth the potential out of me.
Oh, we've lost the sound.
He's muted.
He's
unmuted.
Carter, you've muted. Okay. While Carter's sorting that out, let's just keep the flow going. Are you back? Yeah, carry on, Carter.
Okay. Yes. So what happened is that then I joined the NEC. From the NEC, I was at the position where I am as the Black deputy president of the party. And yes, I put my concerted effort in making this party a success, of which at the end of 2024, the national elections, I expect many seats, not few seats, but many seats for this party. And fortunately, we are milking out the smaller parties that are also emerging. All their members now are serving their interest into our party. I must say we are definitely a power to be reckoned with, and even for the bigger parties like those that we know are called to be the biggest, two opposition parties and a leading party, their members are joining us by day. I must say, with gender-based violence, my point on it is that the South Africa is facing the second wave of gender-based violence and femicide, as in like they faced the COVID-19.
Right.
And we already got a plan to fight this demon, in the sense that we want to have all the control measures when we take over our responsible seats in Parliament, to make sure that we address this impasse, so that there shouldn't be a person that should be dying because of gender-based violence and femicide. And we'll make sure that in the process, we'll bring back the harshest measures of punishment for GBV, and followed by the last issue of instilling again the sense of bringing the death penalty, or for anyone that his or her GBV act ended up with a femicide, that you must go to the gallows. So we'll bring back the death penalty as a party once we come in power. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you. Now, Christopher, I just want to let you know that we'll be wrapping up this live stream at about 9:30 p.m. your time. So we've got just over half an hour to go. The reason we do that is because when our live streams go for more than 90 minutes, people tend to say, "Oh, that's a bit long to go and watch." So I'm just letting you know that, because we've got some time in abeyance here. Now, let's move on to the issue of corruption and looting of state funds, and how that impacts on the rest of the population. Christopher, over to you.
Yeah, Scott, we've discovered that, systems are so smart and so professionally designed by the crooks that they know exactly how to move money aside. And I'm going to make a very simple, it's going to sound now very, very funny now. They say in apartheid years, if the whites built 10 bridges, they steal at least one bridge's money. But with the ANC, they only built one bridge and they steal 9 bridges' money. So I don't know if that is the case, but what I'm trying to say is that money just slipped out of the system, and the way they're doing it is they're doing it via the tender processes. They're doing it very, very smartly. So that they don't have a proper money of system in place to avoid this to happen. Everybody can just do it. And that's why the problem with this corruption is the tenders. Tenders is the biggest reason why money gets stolen in our country. And we as a party feel that we really want to minimize tenders. You won't be able to stop it, because why? If you need to buy vehicles, you need to buy it via a company. There's certain things that we cannot manufacture ourselves. But there should be a much stricter system in place to avoid this thing to happen. But at this moment, it's not working. Everybody, they do and they steal as much as they can. And I'm going to give quickly an explanation to all the viewers out there what is happening really in politics. And people always say all politicians are the same. And I want to really say it is not the truth. Right. It is not a truth. If you talk about all parties the same, then people refer to parties who are in power. It's the DA and the ANC, the other parties are not in power. Listen, what happens is now, the president, when he gets in power or voted as a president in South Africa, what is happening is that because he has the right to appoint his cabinet, and he can choose who he wants to be his ministers. And remember one thing, a president can be there any time between 1 year and maybe 2 terms, 10 years. And the ministers, they know it for a fact. When the president goes, the ministers also going with him. Because when the new president is appointed, that new president will appoint his own cabinet. And what the ministers probably are doing is they use opportunities to enrich themselves.
Yeah.
By making use of the tender processes.
Zweli Mkhize comes to mind.
yeah. So that's what they're doing. So and now, especially when a president term is coming to an end, what they're doing, they're not sure if his president will stay as the next president. So what they're doing, they use an opportunity, put up tenders there. For example, in Cape Town, the national road, Scott, from the airport to Cape Town, they are fixing a road that is fixed. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the N2, but they're fixing the road again. So there's no potholes, there's no marks on the roads. But why are they fixing a fixed road? Why are they doing this? There's money available now. Their budget came to an end. They need to spend that money now. They get a company now who's gonna tender, and it's gonna be millions. So all what they know is, I will give the tender to you, but you're gonna give me a cut of it.
Yeah.
That is what they are doing, and this need to stop now. My question is, why can government not recruit their own company or the people who are fixing the roads? Why can't they recruit themselves? Because it's an ongoing thing, so they can do it. But they say they want to enrich the people, the communities. But they're not really enriching the communities. There's only one person who's getting rich. It's the owner of that company. And the other workers are just earning a minimum. Instead of employing the people, give them more money, they earn more money, they have benefits at least, but it is not happening that way. And that need to stop. Tender processes of tender systems, it is not working in this country, and that is the root of all evil, and we need to stop them. We need to stop the tender process so we can rather employ people. Scott, it's not working in the tender processes. It can work, but the systems that are in place, it's too easy for corruption because somebody's benefiting from it.
Absolutely. I think one of the exacerbating things is BEE. I think that has destroyed South Africa because it's really meant that sometimes and often the right person for the job doesn't get the job. So you have a problem. Now, is there anything, anyone would like to add to that in the room? No? Okay.
Yes.
Eddie, over to you.
Scott, that corruption is running deep in South Africa. It will cost billions of rands to get rid of all the people that is still in government, that is still stealing government funds. And these funds will never reach the people on the ground. Say, for instance, for houses, to fix the country's electricity, to put better roads in place, to look at the water system of the country. And that is a great problem. If you can remember, a couple of months back in 2021, the Cuban doctors were...
Oh, yes, 200 of them.
Yes, they were commanded to come and help in South Africa. These guys were paid an enormous amount of a salary that surpasses our people's salaries here.
Well, Eddie, it was 96 million rand that that little deal cost.
That's correct. So now I just want to highlight that if you look at the Cuban military. South Africa, there was a lot of military equipment that was sent to Cuba. And these military equipment was sent illegally because there wasn't any permits. So up to now, nobody has put up their hand and say that they're responsible for that. This equipment with no permit was removed out of South Africa. So you don't know, was this equipment sold to Cuba? There was a statement that it is faulty equipment and it will be fixed by the Cubans. After that, there was a navigation equipment that was sent to Cuba, and they said that the Cubans will fix it as well. And that piece of equipment cost billions of rands or millions of rands. So up to now, all those equipment haven't been replaced back to South Africa.
Yeah.
We saw that there was shady deals of vaccines from Cuba. That initially it was expired vaccine that was sent to South Africa, but somebody is getting a kickback in South Africa, and somebody is making money in Cuba. Now, the latest thing was that there was a donation of 50 million rand that was given to Cuba for food, for hunger, to relieve hunger in Cuba.
What about people in South Africa?
People in South Africa that is hungry, that is unemployed, that can't get a job, that doesn't even have a house. 50 million can do, a little bit to a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you spend it wisely. But now, if we need to get rid of corruption, I'm not specifically talking about the Guptas, but there is a lot of people that is operating in syndicates in the government sector and on municipal sector that we need to get rid of. When we get in power, I'm telling you, Scott, that these people, we will root them out.
Good.
We will snuff them out, and then they will be prosecuted. Because this is South Africa's tax money. You paying tax, I'm paying tax, the person on the street is paying tax when he's buying something out of a shop. And all this money is not spent in the country, on the people of the country, or to build the infrastructure. If you look at South Africa, there's not one decent building that was financed or built by the government, by the ANC government, that is standing.
Yeah.
All these buildings and that is falling now under public works is old apartheid buildings that was built in the apartheid era that they use, and we need to look into that money. There's always money to steal. There's money always to finance luxury things. But when it comes to the crunch of things, that is what we expect from me to address when we get to Parliament. Cut the unnecessary spending and focus on the necessary things, what the normal person, as how you can say it, as human right, as spend the money on housing, decent housing, electricity, get jobs for the people. Those are the most important things. So, and I believe that we will be able to pull it through. We can salvage this country and put this country on a better platform where we can move and build it to a first world country.
Right.
We have president, we have deputy presidents that have a vision, and I know that we have the capability of pulling it through. But we need to stop. We need to stop this. If we look at the price of petrol, it is just escalating. Any government needs to have a reserve fund to buffer the oil price. And in South Africa, it doesn't exist. If you look when Tina Juma Peterson was the Minister of Energy 4 years ago, there was a reserve of oil, Brent crude oil in South Africa. She was instructed by the then president to sell this oil. It came out in the commission, in the first half of the commission, where she testified to say that President Zuma told her to sell this oil, and she don't know what happened to the money.
Yeah.
South Africa had a reserve of Brent crude oil, a few million liters of oil. When the oil price goes up, we could cushion and buffer, the increase, for a while, and then we can use the reserve oil. But it was just sold.
Yeah.
You don't know even who it was sold to. So those kind of corruption, we need to investigate it. These people need to be brought to book, and people need to go to prison.
Right. Now, we're going to move on to the next subject, which is a big one. And Christopher, I'd like you to address this. To start with, it's illegal immigrants and how do we secure the borders in South Africa?
Right. Scott, I've done a study actually And I work it out. If we take 100,000, okay, if we take quickly, I'm going to take now, there's quite a lot of foreigners in our country, and they're really invading our cities and they take over the tuck shops, they take over the shops in our community. And if I look in Cape Town, I can take only one small, the biggest coloured town in South Africa's Mitchell's Plain, and this is where I currently stay. Every street has almost about one tuck shop owned by one of Nigerians, or it is Somalians or the Pakistanis. So when I work it out, if I take 100,000 of that shops in South Africa, they spend about 50,000 rand per month. It comes to a total of 5 billion rand. Listen quickly now. It comes to they're buying about 5 billion rand worth of stock from wholesalers. Wow. And if you take the 5 billion rand and you say times it with 15% VAT, they actually put in our government coffers 750 million times 12 months. They put actually a 9 billion rand into our government coffers, right?
Yeah.
So they add value to our economy of this country. But the problem we have is people like that is fine to be in our country, but because they are not affecting jobs in our country, because they get a job of a business on their own. The problem is when it comes to recruiting them to work as a truck driver in restaurants, that is affecting our country. And we thank foreigners also for adding value and boosting our economy, because we need, and we say 9 billion rand. I'm telling you, it's a lot of money that is added to our government coffers. What they're doing with it, I don't know. But we need to somehow send them back, and respect them as a party getting power. We really want to send back all those who are not adding value to our country back to their country, start recruiting our own people so that we can reduce unemployment. Unemployment leads to what? To depression. It leads to a crime. It leads to death. And that is the problem we're facing, because why our government, they believe in crime doesn't affect them at all. Crime, let me tell you quickly, how does crime affect, or how does crime benefit South Africa? Maybe you never thought about it. You think it is like affecting us? It is not affecting government at all. Let me tell you quickly, if 1,000 of 10,000, let me take quickly, if 10,000 people's cell phones are stolen throughout South Africa, 10,000 cell phones are stolen, I don't need to buy another phone. So a cell phone is about 10,000 phones started with 3,000 rand a phone. Gives you 30 million rand. If the 30 million rand times with 50% VAT, government gets 4.5 million is paid into the coffers because someone stole your cell phone and you need to go and buy another cell phone. What about other stuff? What about your car is stolen? What about your TV stolen? Yeah. So, Scott, to look at all these figures, really, it is a problem. But let us come back to the foreigners. The foreigners needs to be sent back to their country so we can employ our own people so that they can start earning money again and really feed their families. That is what our heart desires. And this is the first thing the Spectrum National Party will do when we get in power. That is a problem for us Africans. And it is why genocide will probably kick in again sometime soon again. We don't know when it's going to happen, but we really ask our government, please recruit our own people. And we do see that government don't recruit foreigners into the government sectors. They are only employed in private sectors. But it needs to stop. They need to be said, how on earth? You know what, Scott? I've been working with foreigners. They said to me, it is so easy to get a permit. They just pay the official at Home Affairs and they get the permit. 3,000 rand and I'll give you a permit. Now, it's a money-making business. Now, how many foreigners in our country? About 6 million of them in our country. And they're flooding in by the thousands. And they don't care because they will be sent or taken to a body in Home Affairs. And that guy is guaranteed of his 3,000 rand when he gets his permit. And how long are they in our country? For many, many years. And all of them get having children. The children become now also South African citizens as well now. Can you send now that child away with their parents? Because why, this is an African citizen? So they're really digging a hole for themselves. And we do understand, Scott, that these people, the black South Africans in Africa, they helped the ANC out over the years. Through the apartheid, they feeded them, they funded them with money to fight the apartheid. And now it is a reverse payback. It is to employ the people. Julius Malema say they are part of my country. They can live in South Africa because we are not living in South Africa only. We are Africans. So all Africans has the right to come and live in South Africa, irrespective if we are a country on our own. South Africa is South Africa.
Yeah.
Nigeria is Nigeria. So they got their own country. We got our, although we are on the same continent, doesn't mean that they can come over and do what they want to do. Then we can also say somebody in America is also on the globe. They are also be part of our country. So they really need to get the facts right when it comes to South Africans as South Africans. It's South Africans who benefit first. South Africans first. It's what our slogan says, South African first.
Yeah. Now, I see that Carter's got his hand up. Carter, over to you.
Yes, good. I'm still here, but struggling with the network somehow. But yes, my reason why for lifting the hand was for the previous discussion on
corruption.
Corruption.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to highlight just two things. In South Africa, with the South Africa with the leading of ANC, they happen to be my railway system functional and in the process of improving. But since they take over, they took from what they got to nothing. As we speak, the country is sitting without the railway system, and it's all because of being greedy, wanting to take what is not theirs.
Right.
And for worse, we the people from this country that are poor of the poorest were relying on their transport as the cheapest means of transportation. But today we are forced, or the people are forced to use expensive means of transport, which are buses, taxis, and their cars, and of which at the end we make people poorer and poorer and poorer. As we take over, we're going to bring back the railway system to be in place. But the challenge that is also facing our country is that what is left now, it is the ESCOM reticulation system that will soon be down due to this blackout, due to this load sheddings and so on. Because for every load shedding, there's people that cut electrical cables everywhere, vandalizing the substations and so on. With all that in place, the country is facing a bleak future if there is no change in government. So we will be that change that we foresee ourselves as a Spectrum National Party to stop and change things for better for the communities.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, David, I saw your hand was up too, and we're getting close to 80 minutes, so we'll listen to you, and then we'll just wrap up the live stream. Over to you, David.
Yes, okay, so we were talking about the borders. So obviously I'm a big Trump fan, and I looked at what happened in America, and while he was busy securing his borders, things are going really well. Crime is down, the economical situation was much better, and as soon as Biden walked in and opened up the borders, chaos broke loose, and they've got so much crime now. It's costing the country so much money. Now, if I have to bring it back to South Africa, our borders have always been open. That is the problem we got. That's why I've got so much influx of people coming into the country thinking that, yes, greener pastures for them, they will be able to get somehow a job and they will make it, or put some food on the table.
Right.
But the problem is that I believe also, let's build a wall and we secure our borders, and anybody that's illegally in South Africa needs to go back home. And those that are legal, well, look, we can do nothing if they're actually legal here. We can, I don't know how to go about that, but but there's a lot of people that's here also on a certain time period they're here to work, and then they also need to go back home, but they don't never go back home. They stay because nobody's looking for them. Nobody is going out there to to try and say, hey, you need to go back, you need to go back. Nobody's taking any responsibility. They're just leaving everybody here. And that frustrates me also when Malema stands up and say, but we all Africans, so Africa should be able to go into South Africa. What he's basically saying is, I could go live in Kenya and it shouldn't be a problem. That's nonsense, man. I've never heard about such ludicrous in my whole life. And then our people are suffering. Our black people are suffering. Our poor people are getting poorer because these guys are coming in. They're a bit more clever. They've got more education and they're making their businesses work. It is a problem. This is a big problem in South Africa. We have 6 million people in South Africa that shouldn't be here. If that is not a problem for the ANC, I don't understand what planet they're living in. Because how can we change South Africa and change the poorest of the poor and get them to actually not enrich themselves, but just have a better life and have actually opportunity to work?
Absolutely.
If we're just allowing foreigners to come in and take all the jobs, I mean, it's unacceptable. And something I just want to mention quickly. We've been talking about, Spectrum National Party has been talking about this border thing for since the start. We've talked about tax reform since the start. Now I hear some of the political analysis guys and these clever guys saying, all these politics, all these political parties, they're jumping all in the same bandwagon. And I'm going, but we've been talking about this for how long, for how many years already that we want to change. But now all of a sudden, EFF also now against people that's in South Africa. So he contradicts himself. He's saying, but Africa's for all. But I think he just focused on black. I think that's his problem actually. And then he says the same thing. Okay, but if you're a foreigner, you're illegally, you must go back home. He's changed his mind. I've laughed. I've seen many videos where people in the ANC stand in Parliament and say, Julius Malema, we actually don't know what you stand for. We actually don't know which side. We don't know what to believe, what not to believe. Well, because every day you change your mind.
I think Julius Malema is like the wind. He changes direction at every.
I expect the National Party is not going to be like the wind. We want to. We've got plans. This is what we're going to do. Yeah. We're going to do tax reform. We're going to close the border. We're going to root out all this corruption, and so we can go on and on and on. But we can only do it if we get the votes, and we can actually get in there and do something about it.
Scott, there's a scripture in the Bible says Deuteronomy 28 verse 43 says, foreigners who live in your land will gain more and more power, while you gradually lose yours. They will have money to lend you, but you will have none to lend them. Yeah. In the end, they will be your rulers.
Yeah.
Now, Deuteronomy 28:43.
Christopher, I'm going to give the floor to you to wrap up this live stream. If you'd like to give a message to the people of South Africa. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us. It's been great to meet your deputies. Nishi, thank you for joining us tonight. Eddie, thank you for joining us tonight. And of course, Carter. I don't see where Carter. I think Carter's left us.
Yeah, I got signal problems probably.
Right, okay. And of course, David, lovely to see you again on the platform. Okay, over to you, Christopher.
Right, good. Thanks very much, Scott, for the opportunity. Once again, it's always good. I haven't seen your T-shirt. I know you are a strong Spectrum National Party supporter.
Absolutely.
And I hope you want to come back. And I want to tell South Africans out there who's now spread it all over the world. We need your vote now. When it comes to 2024 elections, wherever you are, there is a voting station where you stay. And trust me when I say this. As the leader of Spectrum National Party, those who don't know me, I went through everything. I went through, talk about it, I've been there. I want you to understand where I come from and why I am the president of Spectrum Party. I'm the founding president of the party. When my little boy told me, Daddy, when you're going to become the president of South Africa, you take care of all the poor people. I don't know, God has probably given him the vision. It came through to me via him. And all I can tell you about myself, I know farming. I've been there. I grew up. I was born there. I grew up in a town. I know what's happening in towns. I've been in the city of Cape Town now for 28 years. So I understand farming. I understand the farm, the town, and the city. I'm a pastor, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a counselor, I'm a businessman. I went for my world-class business practice training with Productivity SA in Organization Development International. I went for my whole life coaching, the physical, the spiritual, intellectual, environmental. I went through it. I've got a creative mindset. I'm a person who thinks ahead. I live in the 5th industrial revolution. So we're sitting here with leaders here in this party who know where to take this country from. And if there is any political party in South Africa you to vote for, then it is Spectrum's party, because we say black, brown, Indian and white need to govern this country together. So there can be peace, unity, transparency, equality in our country. And if we are not going to stand together, we are going to get nowhere. And we are willing to work with political parties with the same mindset and the vision. It seems to us that we might go in a coalition. All what we want from also, we just need 3,000 votes per ward, then we win this country with 15 million votes. ANC is going to drop under 10 million. The DA can't beat the ANC. The DA struggled now for 28 years to beat the ANC, but they can't get even the halfway mark of the ANC. DA is standing on 4 million, ANC on 10 million. When is the DA going to get to 5 million? When is the EFF going to get to the DA's mark? So the EFF will never win this country. They will rather destroy this country. That is, we need to look at what can a political party offer us. What is the burning issues that we're facing in this country? It is corruption. It is crime. It is inequality. It is gender-based violences. It is, the list is just going on. Spectrum National Party has the solution for you. We don't want to run this country like the way we want it. We want to listen to you also. And say, how can we serve you? What is the burning issues that you are facing as a mother, as a father, as a youth, as an elderly, as a disabled? What are you facing? How can we help you? We don't know everything. We want to hear from you as well, because there are experts sitting at home, and they sitting with all the expertise. Tell us, how can we serve you? Come up with proposals, because we want to listen to your proposals. Well, we don't know everything. Although we know what we know, David is a businessman, he's in construction, I'm in security, and I'm in a property. I know what I know, but you sitting at home know maybe something that we never thought about. And we want to get you involved and help us taking this country forward together. But don't waste your vote on a party who's going nowhere. We can't say we're going nowhere, because your vote can help us to beat the ANC, they can beat the DA, because why? They are not helping South African citizens. They keep us in poverty. Spectrum National Party has a prosperity plan for South Africa, a self-sustainable plan for South Africa, so we can change your life, where you don't have to pay for your children at school, you don't have to pay for your children at university. We want to give it free of charge to you, so we can equip and educate our people, because some of the mummies out there, they cannot send their kids to universities. There is no more money. And why do they charge a lot of money? 7,000, 8,000 a month. Parents can't afford it. And because what is the money for? To pay securities, to pay the tutors. We have a new plan for South Africa, where your taxes will be reduced, crime will you're going to stop, corruption will be put to the end. We will design new modern systems to take this country to the next level. We ask you out of our hearts, as a pastor, as a pastor friend here next to me. There's Eddie Belford. He's also a pastor. This is not a Christian party. He's Dr. Eddie Belford. He's in theology. We are not just here to benefit ourselves. Many people came and joined Spectrum, and they left because they came for money. We are not here for the money. We are here to see your life change, to see South African life change. We are not going to allow or tolerate people sleeping under the bridges, people who are homeless. We want to make land available for every citizen. Did you know that there's a policy that says 1 hectare, 1 family? Do you know there's a policy like that? Maybe you don't know it. But why don't they give this 1 hectare to us as a family? They're keeping information away from us. There's funds available for business people. They notify family and friends. We want to be really transparent with everybody. The whites, the black, the brown, and the Indians. You are equal in our eyes. I don't favor my fellow brown colleague in Spectrum. And they can tell you that Eddie Belford is there. He can tell you he's a brown deputy president. I don't favor nobody in this party. If you step out of line, we will deal with you. We will discipline you. There have been a few years step out of line. We deal with you accordingly. And this is how we're going to run this party. Nobody's perfect, but law is law and rules are rules. And everybody needs to abide to our rule. And ask David Kotze here, my deputy president here. Ask him, I don't favor nobody in this party. I'll put my foot down on some of them who step out of line, But the aim is we want to take this country forward. Scott, I really want to thank you. I want to thank all the viewers out there. Please support us. Go on our website, www.Spectrum National Party. Join as a member. We still need people all over Africa to represent us in the municipalities as leaders. We're still looking for provincial executive committee members, for our executive NEC, National Executive Committee. Please come and be part of us so that we can take this country to the next level. And you can also WhatsApp us if you need to know more about us, 072-493-6865. I repeat, 072-493-6865. And WhatsApp us and be part of our team. And together we can take this country forward. South Africans first.
Fantastic. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And look, have a great evening. And I look forward to speaking to you guys again in the future. High five. All right, guys, take care and bye for now.
Thank you, Scott. Bye-bye, viewers.
Cheers.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was the leadership of the Spectrum National Party, and yeah, look, as Christopher said, I'm a huge supporter of SNP. I think that they're doing the right thing, pulling the right moves, and yeah, excellent. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this live stream up. Thank you to the moderators for looking after the side chat, and have a great evening, and bye for now.